All right, it's Brandon here at the Ohio Valley Antique Machinery Shows. Just do a quick little scan real quick of how many things are here, dude. It is a hustling and bustling zone right now. Golf carts, gators, lawn tractors, full-size tractors, you name it, it's here. And I think this would be a great time to just kind of talk to some of the folks that brought all this equipment with them. One of the folks today is Rob, right? So earlier I talked with Rob yesterday about, on the radio, just about his equipment that he brought with him. Because it's one thing to just go to the Ohio Valley Antique Machinery Show, but it's another thing to actually exhibit, to really kind of show what you got, what you've done to fix things up. Now Rob is a unique example where he doesn't just bring in the bog standard, John Deere, Cub Cadets, I don't know, the Farm all that kind of stuff. He likes to bring some of the more unique history-making tractors. One of the great examples is this one right here. He told me yesterday, it's called a shawl. And if you want to explain a little bit about the history of shawl and why they're important in the lawn garden scene.
Shaw started building equipment back in pre-World War II, back in the 1930s, and then after World War II, when everybody come back from the war, they continued into the garden tractor and some of the other markets, but mainly garden tractors at that time. And they're kind of one of the pioneers of early garden tractors.
So they really are kind of like the very beginning. Like when you look at this, you think it's kind of like a skeleton, like, well, where's the rest of it kind of deal?
What you need and what you don't.
That is,
pretty much.
The bare basics of a tractor, this is what you need. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you said yesterday, this design kind of looks like the way it does because they would take parts from the junkyard.
Yes.
And design it to work from, 4 9-end rear ends or whatever, they had available to them to make this work.
This tractor actually had a Willys Jeep tranny in it. So.
And was it factory like that?
Kind of unique, yeah. That's the way it was built.
Yeah.
So,
so this is just one really cool example. I really like this one. But we talked a bit on the radio yesterday about this. I really thought this was unique.
Yeah, I think it's
this, you might be wondering, well, where's the steering wheel at? Every tractor is a steering wheel. This is the steering stick. it's not even an actual wheel. But basically, it takes away the whole need of needing a gearbox. It saves costs. Rob, you mentioned it's like $100 back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
Which back then, $100 is a lot.
Of money.
So, and it's actually not as hard to steer as you think it is. You think just one stick moving these wheels would be a lot of work. But you want to demonstrate real quick just how easy it is to turn these? Look at that.
Back and forward. You just move it just a little bit.
He's not using. He's only
what
using
you need
two fingers.
to do.
And he's moving an entire wheel assembly. So I just find that very unique. It's just something that you don't see every day. At the end of the day, when it came down to what do farmers need, they don't need fancy steering wheels. They don't need fancy, crazy computers running the whole show. They need a stick, and then another stick, and then your engine. So it was really cool. Really cool stuff. And then we'll do one last segment here. Rob, let's talk a little bit about your pull behind trailer here.
Let me put it back in.
Okay, reassemble. So what was really unique about this trailer here is that he hand built this from the ground up. Now, what rear ends did you use to make everything?
The wheels on the rear are for a John Deere lawnmower. The wheels on the front and most of the axles off a wheel horse like that.
Okay.
Source, yeah.
Yeah. And then what's really nice, if you could bend down a little bit, cameraman here, he actually has a full-on steering assembly here.
Steers like a real wagon.
Like a real a farm wagon.
wagon, the back wagon, yeah.
Because the difference is, if you didn't have that kind of steering assembly, if you were to go for a turn and you have a heavy load, the thing tips over. So although it's cheaper just to have one big axle and one pivot, you risk the possibility of losing all your hay or whatever is on your load. While with an assembly like this, it stays firmly on the ground. And he built it from scratch. So that's pretty cool. He made it back in 2006, and it still looks like he made it yesterday. So that's pretty cool stuff. Well, Rob, hey, I appreciate you letting us harass you again, round 2 for today. Is there anything else you wanted to mention or anything?
Not that I can think of.
What's the biggest reason why people should come out to the Ohio Valley Antique Machinery Show?
A lot of unique things here that you won't see anywhere else.
Yeah.
And it's history. It's learning. You can learn about history, how things were done back in the day. You know, so much has changed technology over the years.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that yesterday.
It's a
just
great
how like
place
John
for
Deere.
history. If you love history, it's
Yeah,
the place to
this
be.
is where to go. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you.